Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now for a lot of you, 2020's remake of Mafia might have been the first taste you had of the original game. The definitive edition looks and plays completely differently of course, but with that comes an entirely different set of system requirements and the need for a beefier computer. Thankfully, the initial 2002 release is still available and is free to claim and keep through Steam until the 5th of September as part of the 20th anniversary celebrations. As you might imagine, it is very low-end hardware friendly, though it does benefit from a couple of tweaks to freshen it up a bit for modern systems, most notably the widescreen fix and original music restoration mod, the details of which can all be found on the game's PCGamingWiki Page, which I'll leave a link to below. The story still holds up well, as does the in-game offence system, which will see you get fined or shot at by police depending on the severity of the crimes you commit. Even running a red light will get you into trouble. For a game 2 decades old to have this level of detail, well, it's still impressive to think about now, so imagine how cool this must have seemed back then. If you have played it before, then be prepared for an immense overdose of nostalgia. And even if you played the definitive edition first, it's well worth going back to experience where it all started. Comparing how the missions look and feel between the old and new release has been one of my favourite things to do over the past week. The game does have a 60-something FPS cap in place by default, 63 I believe, and I've read that removing it can negatively impact some of the physics, so the game is best left as it is, or it's actually best to set the cap manually to a rounded 60 instead, using something like RivaTuner to eliminate any micro stutters. 4K at 60 FPS will be no trouble for most modern graphics cards, especially ones like the RTX 3070 here, which is complete overkill, but it does guarantee us a consistently smooth experience. Using something like the Athlon 3000G to demonstrate how well this runs these days on entry-level hardware feels like cheating too, because the game shouldn't have any trouble with 2 cores and integrated Vega graphics found inside that once $40 chip. So instead I decided to use what is possibly the worst hardware combination I currently own. This 1.6 GHz socket AM1 Athlon 5150 setup has 4 cores and onboard R3 graphics, and although 4 cores sounds good, that doesn't mean much here. I found it as part of a pre-built and had to cut my benchmarking video short because it was so frustrating to use. The Athlon CPU bottlenecks its own integrated graphics in a lot of scenarios, and this system could only manage 6 frames per second, not 60, just 6, at 640 by 480 in CSGO, so that gives you an idea of what we're working with. Using this thing with a single 4GB stick of DDR3 makes Windows 10 slow, and doing anything apart from opening Notepad is painful, but running Mafia with the same increased draw distance and FOV isn't a problem for this setup as far as 30 FPS is concerned at 1080p. A lower resolution would certainly be a better choice, but if you've got hardware more powerful than this, and trust me you probably have, then I'd most certainly recommend downloading all 2.1GB of Mafia. I mean, even if it doesn't run well, it hasn't cost you anything, right? It's free until the 5th of September at 6 PM UK time, so get it while you can, and don't let the aged visuals put you off, because story and atmosphere wise, it's still top notch, and there are plenty of mods available to both improve and alter your experience. The other games in the series are also on sale through Steam too for a limited time, and in my opinion they're all worth playing. But there we go, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of the game down below, and let me know how well it runs on your system. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, leave a dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hopefully I'll see all of you in the next one.